So in this video, I want to show you exactly what happens, 3 real live websites and their traffic and rankings over the course of a year or two where no work has been done on the website for their SEO. So this is site number 1, and this is in a tool called SEMrush, which gives us a nice overview of the site currently and over the last couple of years. And you can see that it's a reasonable site. It's got an authority score of 29, so it's nothing crazy. Like, it's probably similar to a lot of business websites. Getting around 6,000 to 7,000 search traffic a month. Decent portfolio of backlinks in there as well, which has been growing over the last couple of years. Now, I launched this site, when did we launch it here? Beginning of 2023. And realistically, I guess I worked on it until about September 2023, and then just decided I'm just not going to do anything to this. The work I've done on it, I'm going to let all that bed in, let the effects of SEO take hold over time, let it bed in before we do anything else. And I literally haven't really touched this site since then. What's interesting is you can see if we go a year into the future to September 2024, we can see it grew to over 100 top 3 rankings in that year when I wasn't working on it, because we've got those trailing effects of SEO. So you can do a big project with your SEO, get your site ship shape, start targeting the keywords you want, and kind of leave it for a year. And you can actually see a massive increase in traffic and rankings. You can see before it had 30 top 3 rankings. Then a year later, it had 106 top 3 rankings. And you can see that was reflected in traffic growth from September 2023, 2,500 a month. A year later, where were we? September 2024, 7,000 a month, and grew and growing. It has dropped off a little bit, or actually it grew up to nearly 14,000 a month a year later. That's insane. Fortunately, I didn't do any work on it then either. So we did start to see things drop off. And it's been, what are we in now? 2025. So it's been a year and a half since I did any SEO on this site, and things have tapered off a little bit. I did some analysis on the other day, and some search intent for some of it have changed. So our keyword rankings have dropped a little bit, but they're still double what they were 2 years ago, having not done any work on it. And our traffic is at 7,000 a month rather than 2,000 a month. So not working on an SEO of a site, if you've done some work previously, can still have dramatic effects. I can show you some other... Actually, I've got a shot of this site as well, which has been actually gaining like really great backlinks as well. You can see these authority score 100 from Yahoo, BBC link in July 2024. So the content that we're ranking on there that was evergreen to start with is still ranking, attracting links, and it could probably do with a refresh now to try and recover those rankings and a bit more freshness into the site, but it's still generating great traffic and great leads for this business. Now, we can jump on to another example here and see this is a bit of a smaller site. And over this sort of just over a month period, comparison year on year, between sort of January and February 2024 and January and February 2025, you can see actually the traffic is incredibly stable. This site had an initial SEO project that kind of cleared it up and did all the work to target the right commercial keywords, some blog content and stuff like that. And although it's only getting 1,000 to 2,000 search users a month, for a small business like this, that's absolute gold dust, because I take that impressions away. You can see they're getting 30, 40, 50 searches a day, which is plenty to bring in regular leads every day, which is more than enough for a small business. They're actually able to expand to a new location and expand their team on the back of some of this work like this. And their rankings are staying nice and strong. You can actually see impressions have gone up, and the average click-through rate has actually dropped a little bit. So, you know, it could again do with a little bit of work, but on the whole, things are pretty stable across the board for this site year-on-year comparison, which is great. Again, like, they don't have to spend monthly on their SEO. They could probably actually do with, you know, one project a year to just tidy up and improve based on their size of their business. They're not actually needing to invest every single month to work hard on the site to maintain rankings and maybe grow in some cases. I've got another example here, example number 3. This again is in a mid 2,000 to 3,000 clicks a month from Google search. You can see in the year that we haven't done any work on this site, again, it was a one-off project. It had 2.2k searches in 2024 over a month period, and in 2025 it's 2.28. So traffic's actually gone up in that period of the year that no work. Actually, it was more than, when I talk about a year, there was more than a year that work hadn't been done. There was a project, there was some growth period, and then things have sort of stabilized for these sorts of sites. And again, a small business getting 50 to 100 searches a day is loads. It brings in plenty of leads. You can see impressions have gone up, CTR has stayed the same, average position has dropped a little bit. But overall, you can see these sites that some of them are growing, some of them are dropping off a little bit. But in the long run, if you don't work on your SEO, you're not always at the pain of what some SEOs will tell you, in that you need to keep working and you need to do this and growth, growth, growth. We've always got to keep growing. If you're at a level that actually you're like, do you know what? This is great for my business. It's bringing me in leads. My Google business profile is working. My website's working. Then maybe you don't need to be paying thousands a month for an SEO specialist. Maybe you could have someone or a freelancer that could keep a check on it, rankings, let you know any problems that are coming up, and work on smaller, slower improvements to maintain rather than always chasing growth, and maybe outlaying money that you're not comfortable with, or it's just bringing in vanity traffic. You don't always have to be working on SEO. That's why I love the channel, is that once you rank for something, you can kind of leave it, at least for a few months, maybe keep an eye on the keyword rankings, but it should just sit there high at the top of Google, bringing in traffic and leads for your business.